If you go down in the woods today, you're sure of a big surprise. If you go down in the woods today, you better go in disguise. For every bear that ever there was will gather there for certain, because today's the day the teddy bears have their picnic. Every teddy bear who's been good is sure of a treat today. There's lots of marvelous things to eat and wonderful games to play. Beneath the trees where nobody sees, they'll hide and seek as long as they please. That's the way the teddy bears have their picnic. Picnic time for teddy bears.
I was very, very ill for 3 months, and I went down to skin and bone. I could hardly get around. I was so thin, and
Really?
I looked like one of those Belson victims.
Oh,
It was
no.
terrible. Yeah, lost ever such a lot of weight. Anyway, I had a very healthy 9-pound baby. So.
And you called her Rosemary.
It's called Rosemary after the ship that Grandad used to be on, HMS Rosemary.
Was
So
she,
she's named after a ship.
was she a sweet baby?
Oh, she was lovely.
Was she
well,
good?
you were all sweet. Not you two, of course, but they were all sweet babies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, she was quite. She didn't sleep all that well. She used to wake up a lot in the night, but yeah, she was quite a good baby. Otherwise, she got a bit willful when she got a bit older.
What naughty things did she used to get up to?
Well, all sorts of mischief. But well, I mean, you can't blame her because we were travelling around quite a lot. We lived in a house called the Cottage. It was a big house, but the name of it was the Cottage, and we shared it with my friend Muriel Foley and her husband, and she had a 6-month-old baby boy, Brian Foley.
When Mum was born, was Grandad there or was he working?
No, he was there actually because he was working at Kinloss, which is the air station quite near to where we were. We lived in Forres, and he was at Kinloss, so he wasn't at that time. The fathers were never there at the actual birth, but he and my Uncle Dougal were downstairs. Mind you, she was a long time coming. I started at 11 o'clock on Saturday morning, and she wasn't born till 7 o'clock on Sunday morning, so it was a long time.
Yeah, that's a very long time. Gosh. So did you always want 4 children, or were they all
I wanted a lot of children, yes. I always, even when I was a young girl, I always used to say I wanted a lot of children. So, yeah, because after Mum was born, I had a miscarriage. When she was about 18 months old, I had a miscarriage. So there should have been another one in between.
Gosh.
And,
So how many years between? So who's the next oldest after
the next
Mum?
oldest is Chris,
Chris.
and it was about 3.5 years before I had him. So that's the biggest gap, 3.5 years between Mum and Chris. And exactly 2 years, or almost exactly 2 years between Chris and Brian, and exactly 2 years between Brian and Jenny.
Exactly.
Yes, well, I mean, their birthdays are 22nd and 24th of October, so
Oh, I didn't realise.
exactly 2 years, almost exactly, in a couple of days anyway.
And who was the best behaved baby and who was the
Well,
worst behaved?
strangely enough, Brian. you'll never realise that Brian, when he was young, he was an absolute angelic baby. I've never known anything like it. He never cried. In fact, when we were living in Portsmouth and my father was there, my father used to get quite worried because he'd go in and look to see the baby was all right. He said that baby never cried. He was a really good baby, but then of course he grew out of it.
He used to go out to all sorts of...
Oh, he was a mischievous little chap, but as a baby he really was good. None of them were bad. I can't say I had a lot of trouble with any of them, but he was exceptional.
So how did you cope having 4 children?
Well, for a while I was at home with my mother and father, so I had help as far as that was concerned. I was really lucky when you come to think of it, because then we went out to Germany, and of course I always had help in the house when I was in Germany, so quite honestly it wasn't too bad.
If you go down in the woods today, you'd better not go alone. It's lovely down in the woods today, but safer to stay at home. For every bear that ever there was will gather there for certain, because today's the day the teddy bears have their picnic.